Of course, in Congressional District 4, we're the home of Clive and Bundy.
Sure.
The protection of public lands is utmost important to the Democratic voters in this area, and I think to most of the Republican candidates as well. What would you do in Congress to try and enhance the protection of Gold Butte, and will you support it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely beautiful. I think that's one of the areas that I've been fortunate enough to the residents of Mesquite specifically, and to some of the more rural parts of our community who have educated me on just how important the land issue is to them. As someone who lives in a more populated area of our state, it's not something that you talk about very often. We start to see some of what happened, especially in 2014. I just want to pause for a moment and be very clear. I think that the Bundy clan, those who supported the Klan, those who took that movement to Oregon, are domestic terrorists, and they should be treated as domestic terrorists, and they have disrupted sort of a core fundamental part of our country, which is this idea of liberty and freedom, and it has been perverted into, again, into terrorism. And I think what happened is, if you look at what happened with the two police officers in North Las Vegas, a lot of people are afraid to tie the connection between what Bundy did and what those two people did, but I think the connection couldn't be any more clear. And I think that, if I were involved in government at that time, I would have absolutely drawn clearer lines between what the Bundys did and the deaths of those two police officers in Las Vegas. Because what happened is, we used a message of hate to rile people up, scare people, distort what happened with the federal government, and cause a bunch of chaos. And I think it's ridiculous. It's easy to attack how the government approached 2014. It's even easier to attack how they approached what happened in Oregon. And even I was sort of opposed to how the government approached the Oregon standoff initially. But I think if we look and rewind the tape backwards, one of the things I'm not afraid to do right now is actually say I think we did a very good job of waiting them out in Oregon. I think we let the message dither and wither away. And I think that that's the kind of message that we can take when someone like Clive and Bundy starts to pervert the idea of federal land and essentially say, whoa, nobody has any authority over this land. I have just as much access as you do. That's ridiculous, because it's not the same thing. When I take my family out to use a national resource like a park, maybe I take my dog there. Maybe I have to clean up after my dog, right? That's a lot different than what the Bundys are doing with that land. It's being destroyed. In many cases, we're permanently damaging the land. And to say that they're the same thing and to allow them to continue to say the same thing is absurd.
Thank you.